for those?
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
Me too.
I get the trifecta here soon because I get to go on the Treasure in December. I get to do Marathon Weekend in January, and then I get to go to
That's amazing.
it's a
That's awesome.
preview cruise. I know. Pam's like, "You want to?" I was like, "Yes, I do want to." I'm gonna try to do a podcast from the ship if we can get good enough internet. I'm hoping it'll have Starlink or something.
Oh,
Because
that'd be so fun.
I think they're rolling out Starlink to the ships, and since it's a new one, it might have it.
That'd be
Because
great.
even this past summer when we were on the Fantasy, it didn't have Starlink, but I was FaceTiming with Scott, like in the middle of we were on the Eastern Caribbean,
Yeah.
we were way out there, and I was FaceTiming with Scott with no problems.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't know if we have enough bandwidth to podcast, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you should try. That'd be great. That'd be fun.
We shall see. Hey everybody, we are getting ready to talk some Run Disney, some Walt Disney World, and Disneyland. Everything here to have some fun on a Wednesday evening with Jenna, Listener Jenna, out in near Seattle, correct? Out in Washington.
Yes.
Yes. So it's not dark where you are then, right? You still got light?
I mean, it almost is because we're very north, so it gets dark around now.
Holy smokes, it is dark too.
Yeah, it's rough.
Pitch dark here. And my wife and I walk after I get done with the show, and I mean it's already pitch dark, so it doesn't even it's getting like it's getting darker. It's getting colder.
Yep.
But all right, so here we go. We're gonna talk. Oh wait, I gotta hit this button. Just go on this. No wonder we're not on Instagram. Here we go. Hit the button. I think we're going. Let's see. Let's see if we pop up on Instagram. Yep. Hungry Thirsty Traveler has joined. Hello, Hungry Thirsty Traveler. That is a great screen name. When I'm traveling, I'm usually hungry and thirsty. And hello to Steph. Okay. So this will be episode 2588 for Monday. And I don't think Monday is a holiday either in Canada or the United States. No, it is. It's Veterans Day.
Yeah, and it's Remembrance Day in Canada.
Oh, is it Remembrance Day? So like
same thing.
Same thing? Okay, good. Yeah. I'm glad you told me that. Yeah. Shout out to Jimmy down in Houston. He's over on Instagram. And hey, I got on my I didn't even do this on purpose, but this is like the Mizzou Veterans game gear that we're going to be wearing this Saturday night. I just threw it on because it was on the top of the pile this morning when I got out of bed because I was exhausted, and it was like the top sweatshirt and the hat matches, and didn't give it any thought. I just knew it was only going to be 60 and it was going to be cold when I walked Riley this morning. So I threw it on. It was the warmest sweatshirt I had. So there we go. Somebody shouting, Jenna, Amy.
You
got a fan. There you go. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 2588 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had a great weekend. And as we get the show started today, happy Veterans Day to all of our veterans in our audience, all the folks who served. We appreciate your service very, very much. And Jenna is going to be our guest here in just a second. She's from up in Canada, and she has let me know that it is Remembrance Day up in Canada, which is the same idea, to remember those folks who have served up north. So we appreciate you too. So it's always great to have something like a podcast. I love, if you listen to Mike in the Midwest or any of these shows that we've done over the past 16 years, you know that I'm kind of old and I reflect on things as I get going, and technology in general just kind of blows me away. The advancement of how we can do things, and podcasting, since it's come around, I've obviously been a huge fan of podcasting. And the thing about podcasting that gets me over and over is the connections we make through podcasting. And because of this today, I get to speak with Jenna up in Washington, who's, from Canada. And it's made my world so much wider. And I've got to meet such great people through the show. We've sailed together on the Disney Wish here not too long ago. And we're going to talk some Run Disney, some Disneyland, and hopefully this brings a little joy to your Monday. So let's do it. Jenna, how are things out in the Pacific Northwest? What's going on?
Good. Yeah, good. Just busy. And as we were talking pre-show, getting darker. which is sad, but that just means Christmas lights should be coming out soon, in my opinion.
That is right. And actually, I got just real behind the scenes. I got invited to be an influencer. Now listen to this. I got invited to be an influencer at a Christmas event that's going to happen on a ball field here in St. Louis, in my neck of the woods. They're taking a minor league baseball field, turning it into a winter wonderland. I get to go to it like in a week and a half. I'm taking my daughter. She's like me. We're Christmas nuts. And I get to give away 2 free tickets on my social media to go. You get to this ice skating rink. There's like a tubing sledding thing, and I don't know, we're gonna go to the preview night and like shoot video and stuff in a couple weeks. But yeah, the Christmas lights, I'm in, especially when I don't have to hang them. And can you believe it is almost time to eat the turkey and all? I mean, well, you guys have, I mean, up in Canada, you're not in Canada now, but you were. I mean, you guys get to have all the holidays before us. That makes me kind of jealous.
Yeah, Thanksgiving happens earlier because we have like our frost hit earlier, so we have to harvest.
I was like, Canadian Thanksgiving, it's like September. Like we're going, no, just kidding. It's not that early, but I'm just like, oh man, it gets me ready. Anyway, so we are getting ready to talk about a couple of trips, but real quick, I just want to get your take, like where you stand on all the latest Disney news that's been going on. You want to give me like a couple of minutes? So we got the Cake Bake Shop. We got all these new lightning lanes, the Premier Pass.
Yeah.
What do you want? What's tickling your fancy? You got any hot takes on any of the new news that's coming around? Like, what do you think about these?
I've enjoyed listening to all of the discourse around it from this podcast. I think my hot take is I like the idea of the Premier Lane or the Premier Pass because if you need that, you can have it. Like
Right.
our family has only gone to Universal one time. And so we bought that special pass because we had one day and I was like, I don't know if we'll ever come back. Whereas when we go to Disney, I'm like you guys, it's like, oh, if I just have a pretzel, like that was a good park day in my opinion. So I don't need that. But other families, you know, they might come from like Japan and they have one day and they need to hit everything. So I love the different options. Like Pam mentions, you don't need to have it. You don't need to buy any of it, but it's there if you need it. And so I thought, yeah, diversify. Why not? So I was cool with that. The Cake Bake Shop, I don't know. I probably wouldn't pay that. We have a bakery here called Daru, and one slice is $16, and that's about as much as I want to pay. Although it's really big, and like my whole family of 5 can share one slice, so it's not too bad.
If we ever go to the Cake Bake Shop, it's going to be like 1 slice, 4 forks, please.
Yes, exactly.
Mallory will go in with an aggressive bite, and I'll be like, hey, back up. That's too big. Slow down there. I get at least half of this because I'm paying. So, yeah, exactly. I know. I get it. We sound so much alike. I agree because, I think if Disney would have sold this and never like announced it and told anybody, and it was just happening, nobody would have even known, like it's one of those things, but it makes good fodder. And as a podcaster, thank God for that, for 2 weeks.
Keeps you, it's like job security, right?
Exactly. It's like, we got to talk about it for the Cake Bake Shop was like the golden goose, I mean, we milked that thing for 3 weeks. So what can we do? I mean, I can't help it. That was right in my alley because, $26, $20, $21 slices of cake. I mean, come on. It's like a gift. That's like manna from heaven. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about a couple of things. I can't believe it because we just had Wine and Dine race weekend wrap up, about 10 days ago at this point. And shout out to all the runners, man. You guys were down there. The costumes were awesome. The smiles and all the pictures that we saw on social media over in the Discord server. It was just, there was joy. There were accomplishments. There was camaraderie. There was teamwork. I mean, it's all the things that Run Disney brings together. First race weekend of the season. But now, here's what got me scared when I got thinking about it, whenever I got back and started talking about this, and Kim took all the great pictures and was sharing all that stuff, is that marathon weekend runners for 25 are now on the clock, which means I'm on the clock, which makes me super nervous because, oh my gosh, marathon weekend. Oh, 26.2 at the end of that sucker. I don't like that. I like the ears that you get, but man, that's a good price to pay. So you did this last year. And so I want to get kind of your story because I want to get people kind of amped up that are going down in January, because marathon weekend out of all the race weekends is kind of a different beast because you do have the full marathon, and it's kind of the biggest of the race weekends. It's got a lot of energy. It's kind of its own thing. So what got you excited? Tell me kind of your backstories, how you decided to sign up for marathon weekend. What was your story before getting down there in January?
Yeah, so I've run for a long time, since I was about 16. I played competitive soccer, so I I mean, I didn't like running, but I did it. And now I actually like it. So you guys, it's your fault. Everyone talking about it. I was like, I want to do it too.
Okay, skip over me. It goes back to Mike Bankhead and Phil Scheingold. There's a bunch of people that I just got caught up in the wave too. Like I was sucked in like a vacuum cleaner. I'm also a victim here. I'm not the person.
And I started listening to Disney with the Ducks, and they're like, "Oh, you can do it." And I'm like, "Okay, sure, I can do it." And I'm one of these people where if I get an idea, it kind of niggles at me until I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll just do it." So I signed up for a charity, and I also signed up for the 5, 10, and half at Disneyland. So I was doing just the marathon and then the whole challenge the next weekend, like an idiot, or a Disney person, maybe is the right way to say it.
We're all friendly idiots.
Yeah, a little crazy here, they say. So I was really excited. I got my training plan, my like 26-week training plan from the Disney website, and I got started. And I actually had a trainer too that I was working with, doing strength training because that's really important. I don't think, Mike, maybe you do it as much as you should.
There's a lot of things that I should do that I don't do.
Well, I was like, I'm not going to finish.
God bless Laurie on social media. She tells me so many things that I should do. And I tell myself, Laurie, you're right. And I don't do it. I'm sorry, Laurie, you're right. I know.
Yeah, I hear you. I felt the same way. So I was like, okay, I'm going to do it because I want to finish. And so I did all of that. But then in October, I got like a mild stress fracture in my, I'm going to say tibia. I'm actually a doctor, but not a medical doctor. And I'm really sucky at remembering which bone is which. So I got some kind of a stress fracture in my upper thigh. And so I couldn't run for all of October and November. And I got back into it in December and was hoping I could do it. And so I decided I'll show up at the start line and see what happens. So that was kind of my leading up to marathon. And since I wanted my family there, we decided to make it a family vacation. Normally the Run Disney, we just go like just me. But I really wanted them there since it was such a big thing I was trying and wanted them to be at the finish line. So we all went and we did a split stay. We stayed at the Cars suite at Art of Animation. My son loves cars. So that was really fun. But I was like, I want a hot tub post marathon. This was my logic. So we switched to Polynesian for the second half.
So I will tell you my story. My first marathon, we did a split between an All-Star and a Caribbean Beach. No, maybe it was just Caribbean Beach. All I know is that I was doing, or maybe no, it was my first dopey. And for some reason, I swore you had to do somebody told me you had to do the ice bath thing. Because I have a picture of me in a bathtub in one of the hotels, and it had to have been a moderate. I guess it wasn't moderate. It must have been Caribbean Beach. But I was in there, and I just remember like Mallory and I don't know if it was like Emily and all the buckets of ice, and I had a stocking cap on and like a shirt and some swimming trunks, and it almost stopped my heart. It was so cold in there, and I only stayed in there for like 2 minutes, and that was the last time I ever did. I was like, I'm just not running if I have to do this again because I almost passed out. It was miserable. Hot tubs are the way to go, is what I'm saying. Go to a deluxe and get in a hot tub. I don't know if it's better for you or not. But I mean, if you're going to be uncomfortable for 26 miles, like why kill yourself in an ice bath? Like get comfortable.
Yes. That's what I was like. Ooh, I'll switch to a hot tub. So that was kind of my logic. And then we had just been in Disney World 6 months before for the BOGP cruise in the summer. And our kids sort of hated it. They loved Disneyland. But here was my mistake. I have 3 Canadian children, one of whom wore shorts today, and it was 47 degrees. And so the heat of Florida in July, they were like, I don't like this place, Mommy. I don't like it. And I was like, no, Epcot, like Animal Kingdom. And they're like, nope, this is horrible. Yeah, I only took them to Magic Kingdom on this trip because they'd seen the other 3 parks. And thankfully, the kids were all like, oh, Florida's fine. You just can't come in the summer. I was like, yes, I've learned that about our family. So we did one day at the other park because we'd never done that. So we went to that other place down the road, which was great. And then we did it.
By the way, I hope you did ET, right? The best attraction in the park, please.
I don't even think we did. Let's say it was closed. Maybe it was closed.
Oh my God. Okay, it was closed. I love that ride. ET.
Yeah, I wanted all the like Harry Potter stuff, and my son's really into Transformers. and he's so proud because he met Megatron, who's the bad guy,
Oh
and
yeah.
he told him Optimus Prime is behind you, and Megatron was like and got all scared and turned
No.
around, and my son still thinks he scared Megatron.
There's nothing wrong with doing both. I mean, you're in Central
Yeah,
Florida. Have fun.
it
Yeah.
was awesome, and they help each other, right? Like we've talked
Oh yeah.
about, the new park
100%.
is just going to spur Disney on to make
I
more,
agree.
and
Yeah.
so
Competition's
that's a
good for
win-win.
everybody. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
did that, and we saved Magic Kingdom for the day after the marathon. So we were going to do Monday at Magic Kingdom so that I could get a picture in front of the castle with my medal. That was the plan. So for people getting ready for marathon, I'm gonna take you down, but then I'm gonna bring you back up, I think. So I got to the marathon. I wasn't trained. So to be fair, because of my injury, I only got to about half marathon in my training. And I run a couple of halves, but that was it. So I started, and I don't know if you remember, Mike, it like poured about probably for you 2 hours in. For me, it was only an hour in because I was in a late corral. But
I remember because it was when I was getting ready to get to Animal Kingdom. It was in that stretch, like of it was a road where there was just
yep,
trees, and
yeah.
I just remember getting. I mean, it was not a light rain; it was a downpour. I got
Yeah.
drowned. Yeah, because there's no.
So it was so wet. And for me, that was approaching Magic Kingdom. And so I called my husband because I was expecting them to meet me at Magic Kingdom. And I was like, bring my extra shoes. I had an extra pair by the door so that I could swap if this happened. And he's like, oh, we're just waking up. We're not going to be there.
Oh, see, I've been like, oh my god,
What?
divorce. That's grounds for divorce. At that
Yep.
point,
Yep.
I'm
That's what I thought in the
what are you
moment.
talking about? You're getting up. What?
Yeah. So now I'm like angry running because I was like, he said, we're going to meet you at Boardwalk. And I had spent all this time like planning where he could meet me. I got the Polly so that he could get there easily, like so much planning. And I was like, I do not know if I'll make it to Boardwalk. Like, I really don't think I will. You're never going to
Have you
see
seen
me.
my feet? I've been running on these things and it's
Yes.
pouring.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I'll make that. Like, what? I was so mad. And we have 3 kids, so I get it. He was like, I can't make them go that fast. But
That is
I was
true.
like, I'm
Amen.
running
That
a
is true.
marathon. So
Yeah.
so I didn't see him, but he got the vibe that I was mad, probably because of some texts I sent, like while running through the kingdom. So he says, okay, we're gonna meet you out behind the Polly on that road that goes like around after you leave Magic Kingdom.
Yep.
And it
Going
was
out.
under construction, if you recall. So you weren't actually supposed to be there. So him and my kids are like hiding in a bush on the other side of the road. And I'm afraid my son is going to be eaten by an alligator. I was like, get out of the ditch.
That is true. Oh my god, that is true. Like, I mean, Florida's wild. I mean, I'm not trying to scare people, but I mean, there's like, not the negative, 0 chance.
No, like being in a ditch,
yeah, 100%.
not a good plan. I was like, and he didn't even he had my shoes, but they were on the other side of the road. And he was like, don't cross. I saw someone try and they got in trouble. And I already asked the security guard and he said, no, I cannot give you your shoes. So it was just this sad like wave where my son was like, why isn't she stopping? Why do we have the shoes? Yeah, he didn't
throw them. Why did the lizard cross the road to get their dry shoes?
Exactly. Why didn't the lizard cross the road? Because she thought her kid would be eaten by an alligator. So that was so it's kind of going downhill at that part. So kept trucking, and then I caught up with a pace group for a 7-hour pace, which sounds so long, but it's still tough. And then the Animal Kingdom. I got to Animal Kingdom, but that road to Animal Kingdom where you can't have any cheering, it's like so sad. And I was just in line with the balloon ladies. I kept making it past them, and I tend to be a cheery person. So the balloon ladies were like, you seem fine, just go. Like, and I'm like, okay, but really I'm dying inside. I was like trying to keep it up. So then we left Animal Kingdom, and this is where I got swept. And I'm a very like set a goal and do it kind of person. But my mind, I was like, I'll just die on the side of the road. Like, I don't care. Like, sweep me now. Like, I was so out of it, which was very strange for me. So I did get swept. That bus is a sad place to be. But they try to help. There were lots of injured people. So I did have a bit of like, well, at least I'm not injured. Like trying to see a bright side, I guess.
I'm intact.
Yeah. And then they drop you at the medical tent, like, and like a medical person just hands you your medal, and it's just the worst thing. I mean, it's not the worst thing. I'll explain how it's not the worst thing. And so then I got on a bus, and the two people beside me were talking, and they were like, I heard if you don't finish, they still give you a medal. Like, some of us put in work. And I was like, and so I was so sad. I was almost crying in my seat because, like, people who don't finish still put in work, right? Like, we talk about the marathon being the victory lap. Like, you could have a bad day. It doesn't mean you haven't put in the work. So by the time I got back to and my family never showed up because I got swept. They didn't know when I was going to get to the quote unquote finish line. So I just never saw them. So I rode a bus home by myself back to the Poly, and I just gave the medal to my son. I was like, you can play with this. I don't want it. I was so upset. And then that evening, I started feeling sick. And I had heard about marathon flu, and I had made it 18.67 miles, which is 30.0 kilometers. And since I'm Canadian, I was like, that's a milestone. I'll just take it. So that's as far as I made it. And I started feeling sick. The next day we went to Magic Kingdom, but I only made it a couple hours, and I felt sick, and I came home and I was like, let's say sick to my stomach, because I don't like the real word for that.
Yeah,
so I was sick to my stomach, and I thought, okay, I guess this is marathon flu. I've heard of it, but I feel really sick. Like, I feel more sore today than I felt yesterday. And I know that can happen, but it was like a different kind of sore. My whole body ached. I don't know where I'm going with it.
Let's pause for 1 second, because you are totally freaking everybody out that is signed up.
No.
It's gonna get better. But I'm just telling you, I'm cracking up because I've done 10 marathons, so I know it's gonna be okay. But yes. I'm cracking up for anybody that's listening that's signed up for their first marathon right now, because they're just like, especially if they're on a run right now, listening to this. What am I doing with my life? Why did I hit play on this podcast 21 minutes ago?
I mean, I thought, why did I hit play on this podcast 6 years ago? Because now I'm here post marathon. I'm just kidding. But I was like, I'm never going to run again. I have been running for 20 years. I thought, no, I'm never. No. I feel like I've been hit by a truck. Well, Mike, do you have any ideas what actually happened to Jenna?
Was it running? Maybe you got food poisoned.
It was COVID. I had
COVID. Okay, well, that would have been my second guess.
So it wasn't the marathon. I tried to run a marathon with COVID. And to be fair, I didn't know in advance. I just thought I was unnaturally tired running. I was like, I guess I'm just bad at running. Like, and it wasn't until a few days later, when the muscle aches and pain wasn't going away, that my dad was like, what if it's COVID? And it totally was. Like, that line on the test turned pink before the test line. Like, it was like, you really have COVID. So for all the runners who are scared, it turned out the running was fine. And because I thought, my brain has never thought to myself, let's just give up. I just want to give up. Like, and so I thought, I think that's the lack of oxygen. So
to be honest, when you're doing these Run Disney races, it's not like, even if you run a marathon, like if I run a marathon in St. Louis, which the only other one I've done outside of Disney is I did Chicago. And the difference with that is, like, I stayed in a hotel that was seriously like 2 blocks from the starting line. So I came out of my hotel and I just walked right over to Lincoln Park or wherever, I don't know the name of the park, wherever the starting line was. And I was there. But when you're at Disney doing a marathon, usually you're there like 2 or 3 days before. You're walking like a half marathon every day for 2 days before it. It's hot. You're dealing with, you've got kids. You're trying to, you're eating all these crazy meals because you're at Disney. You're having steak and you're eating ice cream. I mean, I have no self-discipline, so I'm eating ice cream at 10 o'clock at night. I mean, I do that here sometimes too, so it's not that different. But like, I mean, it's so like, who knows if I have COVID? Like, if I'm down there, because I'm just like, I'm exhausted. Like, I mean,
you don't think about it. Like, your brain goes to, I'm bad at this. Like, it didn't dawn on me that there was an external circumstance happening. And so after that, and I think whether you don't finish because you have COVID or you just don't finish, after that, like, I slowly started being more appreciative for the experience all up. And now I have my medal, and I actually used a Sharpie to take off. Thank you. I wrote 18.6 over the 26.2. And I was like, now it's my 18.6 I earned that medal, that medal. I earned my 18.6 is how I feel. So yes, I was swept by the balloon ladies, which isn't the end of the world. And the people are really nice and they try to not make you sad. And then I got COVID and I was okay. And now it's all good and now I'm happy again. And I ran again. So I just thought it would be an encouraging message because I always hear people who say, like, I thought I couldn't do it. It's so, so hard, but I did it. And I was like, I thought I couldn't do it and I didn't. Like, someone needs to tell that message because sometimes the first marathon, that's what happens, right? Like, you don't
Okay,
always get it.
here's what I say to that. First of all, I mean, anybody that gets to the start line is a victory because it's in the preparation too.
And it's so brave just to try.
It is. I mean, to register, to get out of your comfort zone, and then back in your hometown, whether it's Seattle, St. Peters, Missouri, where I live, New Hampshire, wherever you are, West Virginia, it doesn't matter. You're putting in the work there. And I truly believe this. When you get down to Walt Disney World or out at Disneyland, that is the victory lap. That's the fun time where you get to put on the costume, the lizard shirt, whatever, get together with your friends and get to meet characters and run around, through castles and stuff like that. That's all the good times. But here's the deal. I mean, think about it this way. I mean, I'm sort of trying to put a wrap on this because I want you to put this into perspective for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
When people have COVID, it's a struggle to get out of bed to get to the refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? Or to get to the grocery store, to go buy some chicken soup. You did 18 miles with COVID. I mean, perspective, people. I mean, seriously, a grocery store run is difficult with COVID. You went 18 miles on a rainy day that was, I was ready to tap out on that day. And I've done a bunch of marathons and that day was miserable. So
that's so encouraging because
embrace it because that day SUCKED.
Yes.
And you got it. So I know got kids on it was horrible. That was not conditions.
It was rough. Yeah, I appreciate that. I hear some knocking, so I will have some kids telling you about their point. But I did just want to say, like, getting sick at Disney was okay. They have great medical and like help that if you need it, the hotels and everything. And now I am very proud. So I just wanted to say for people trying it for the first time, like, I'm going to try it again and it's okay. And they do a nice job, even if you don't pass. And you can still keep your medal and be proud of yourself for what you tried and what you accomplished and the work you put in and everything. So yeah, that was our marathon journey.
Okay,
let me let in the hooligans.
Talk about this. But yeah, we got some visitors coming in. So for folks that are just listening to the audio show, who are most of our audience, we have some folks, and I've met these folks because we sailed together on the podcast cruise last July on the Disney Wish. So I'm meeting some of my old friends here who are going to come join us on the podcast. So Jenna, do you want to introduce us to who's coming on the show with us?
Yes.
Can they see me dancing?
They can hear and see you. So if there's any whining, you're going to have to leave. So up first, we'll have Pacey. He's 5.
Hi, Pacey.
We have Grace, who's 9.
Hi,
and
Grace.
Laura, who's 11.
Hello,
so,
how are you doing?
How are you guys doing? You good?
Good.
Good and shy.
Yeah. I know how it is.
Kids, I thought you could tell them your favorite part of our trips. So remember when we went to Florida for Mommy's race and you guys met me outside the Polynesian with my shoes? That trip or the trip we just took to Disneyland? Did you have a favorite, Pacey?
They just I love when they just like to look at themselves in the camera. That's my favorite part.
Pacey, do you want to tell me your favorite?
The one we just did.
The trip we just did, was that your favorite trip? Mm-hmm. Well, we did stay club level and they ate a lot of treats and cookies.
Oh, smart. I mean, that would definitely be my favorite part too.
Yes, it was so fun. And I think Alora liked it because she was old enough to go back and forth by herself to the club room. And so that was pretty big kid-ish. Go get her own breakfast.
2024.
Yeah, it is. So what did you get for breakfast? What was some of the good stuff there?
Yeah, what did you like, Ellie?
I liked all of the food they had, but so I would say they had some really good yogurt parfaits, and I really liked those. But if I were to pick a favorite trip between those two, the one is that Mom, the one you're talking about, is that the one with the Disney cruise or a different one?
A different one, the one with the marathon. You see, we've been on too many trips. I can't remember which is which.
And
we
which
got
is
to meet on the Disney cruise
that?
trip, so that was pretty cool too. So I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say the Disneyland one because we hadn't been to Disneyland in a long time, and we went to Bippity Boppity Boutique because I was too old and I'd never done it, and I'm like almost too old. So it was really fun, and the hairstyle they taught me how to do, I do it like all the time. I actually wore it today.
Nice. I see it. Well, yeah, nice. So where is it? Is it in downtown Disney at Disneyland, or is it in the park?
Disney Boppity Boutique. It's in Disneyland, and it's at the castle. You just like take a slight left, and you go through these trees that look like boxes from Snow White.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then you go inside the castle, and
it's in the castle.
There's a whole boutique in there, and it's really cool because they let you like use a magic wand to like open things and stuff.
Yeah, I see, because I've been to Disneyland as many times. I've walked through it and seen all the like little dioramas and stuff like that. I love that about Disneyland, but my girls are too old now to do Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which for a dad that's good because it's expensive.
Yeah, it's real expensive. I learned that too.
Twice, yeah, she did it twice at World. She loved it, but I'm glad
it's so fun.
That's pictures.
Grace, did you have a favorite part of the trip we just did?
Personally, I liked the last one because the Polynesian's really awesome because like the pools are super fun because they have great water slides and they got the hula shows and yeah, we like dove for points. I love the Poly.
Yes, they love the Polynesian.
Yeah. You would get along well with my daughter Mallory because she has a very nice taste too. She wants to stay at the Riviera, so you guys would get along well. The deluxe taste.
Yeah, we spoiled a little bit because they've only stayed at the Poly in club level as well. Now, okay, hear me out. With 3 kids, it's really expensive to eat in the parks.
No, I hear.
And so if we stay club level, we're like, this is your food. That's it. Like, so they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we come back for both, and that's all we do. And then
that's smart, though. It's actually a great tip.
We've been to Disneyland 5 times, and Disney World 2 times, and one Disney cruise, and we're going on another one in Alaska.
Oh man, you're gonna love that. Let me ask you this about Disneyland though, because I get to go out there I'll be out there the same time you guys. Are you guys going to the race? No.
Oh, they're not going to the race.
Too bad. But I'll send you pictures. Have you ever done Haunted Mansion Holiday out there?
Yes.
Isn't that the coolest? You don't like it?
It weirds us out. We can't do it. We're not Tim Burton people. I
don't like the movie either, but I just thought it was so because it's weird. I don't like the movie.
I love the way the normal Haunted Mansion is with the ghosts.
Yeah, we love it normally.
I do too, but
it was too much.
Holiday thing too. I don't know, and I didn't think I'd like it at all. And I wrote it 4 times in one day.
The overlay we love.
I don't get the movie at all. I think the movie. I've never seen the movie all the way through. I'm just like I can't watch this.
I think we all loved the Monsters After Dark overlay for Guardians of the Galaxy. That's a Halloween overlay, and that was super fun.
That was barely even scary. It wasn't scary either, so it was like really fun to do.
Yeah.
Plus, that's my favorite ride. Well, one of my favorite rides. But like, we went to the what's it called?
Oogie Boogie Bash.
Oogie Boogie Bash.
Oh, see, now that's a hard ticket to get. So what was the best part of that?
It was
the best part of that?
Fun because like we did all the rides that have a long wait time, and then we also did the rides that are short but that are cool at night. And then we went, me and my mom, the other kids were too tired, we went to the Villains Grove thing, and it was like really cool, but we were kind of disappointed because we thought that real villains were going to be in there. Like, not real, but real villains, but there was just projections of the villains, and like there was no actual people in costumes in their life, so it was kind of disappointing. And we never even saw Oogie Boogie. So
yeah, we never saw Oogie Boogie. We were bad at doing the bash, but we still had a great time.
Trick or treating was so fun. They gave you like.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I met Baymax.
Yeah, we met Baymax. That was a highlight.
Did you guys go get one of his pieces of sourdough over at San Francisco?
We looked at it and bought stuffed animals of him instead. Something that could last.
Exactly. Scott and I we got a sourdough. He tasted good. I mean, gotta say, we got it first thing in the morning, snacked on him like all morning long till lunch. So let's see if you can guess my favorite attraction. Now, this is gonna be tough. Let's see if anybody can get this one. It's maybe not my favorite attraction, but it's my favorite kind of under the radar, like sneaky favorite attraction at California Adventure.
Well, he
Small
said
World?
It has to do with
California
it
Adventure.
has to do with
Where's that?
monsters.
Oh, it has to do with monsters.
Where's that?
At the other park, the park with the
Not
Incredicoaster.
Disneyland, but California Adventure. Which one do you think it is?
Do you have a guess, Ellie?
It's
Yeah.
off the beaten path.
It's under the radar.
Yeah,
It's
which one?
not real popular.
I would say
It's kind of like it's not super popular.
We just rode it on our trip, and you guys hadn't been on it, and it has a character that used to scare Grace.
Yes.
Captain Hook.
No, not that one. Which one, Ellie?
Randall.
Yep. Randall's in it.
That's
Which one?
right. Monsters Inc.
Yep. Monsters Inc. Isn't that a great ride? Nobody ever thinks about it over there. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that ride.
Small.
It's
Like it
small
goes
but fun.
slow.
Yeah, it does go slow. I mean, I don't have to go upside down all the time. I can do, everything else too, but I like that ride. That's a fun ride.
But Mike, they're making a door coaster from Monsters Inc.
I did hear that. That's
I'm
going to be
so
fun.
excited.
We're excited about that.
Monsters Inc. is one of my favorite movies. I
Me
do like it.
too.
Mike and
I
Sully.
think-
Mike, that's kind of my thing.
You got it.
I had two. I
Grace
had four
wants
rides.
to share one more thing, and then we'll let the kiddos go.
Yeah. Okay.
When they went to the spooky thingy thing, Villains Grove, me and my brother and my dad went home because my dad was super tired and my brother was super tired and I was having a mental panic attack. So we went home and ate a bunch of candy and slept while they were at Villains Grove. And when they came back and woke me up, they said it was super disappointed. And I was like, obviously I picked the right choice. So.
Yes, candy for panic
I
attack.
don't know. The funnest part was definitely Grizzly Bear Rush. Oh yeah, it was like so dark.
Mhm.
We only went twice, even though the Grand Californian, where we stayed at club level, was directly next to it. So we had the special entrance, and it was shut down, and we were cold, but I wanted to do it. So there was this random guy with us, and he was like, that was my butt. He was like, stop.
Okay, time for you guys to go. Thanks for joining.
Sounds like the kids had all the candy before they came on the show, but I used to teach sixth grades. This is taking me right back there. This is totally taking me right back to the classroom. I love it. This is what a podcast is about. We're a family Disney podcast, and I'm telling you what, this is awesome. I love this. Hope you guys are too. Jenny, your kids are amazing. I mean, because we need more of this.
There's a lot of them, but I'm so glad you were okay with them coming on. They really wanted to have a turn.
When you do 2,600 episodes of the show, you need to mix it up a little bit, and this is exactly what we have today. Your kids are awesome.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, they're very spoiled. They're like, oh, we haven't been to Disneyland in a year.
That's kind of how my daughter was growing up too. Like, because we're from Missouri, right? And my wife and I taught in a very low socioeconomic district. I mean, Ferguson, Missouri, where all the riots happened back in 2014, place burning down and stuff. And she went to school. We lived in that same district. So she went to school there, and she thought everybody went to Walt Disney World twice a year. My kids, the only time they saw Walt Disney World was on TV. They were lucky if they ever went to Six Flags. She didn't get it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So totally understand. Like, she's very blessed.
Yeah.
Sometimes kids don't understand that.
Our kids too, definitely. Yes. Well, and I think, we're trying to teach them that. So this year, instead of going in the holidays, we gifted our friends a trip for the holidays.
Yes.
And so hopefully they'll learn, it's not just about going yourself, but sharing the magic too.
It's awesome to do that because, when you do that, you get to see them light up and make those memories because you already know what they're going to get to experience. I mean, of course, there's lots of variables and lots of things that will happen unexpectedly, but that like the feeling in the heart that you have when you get to go in there and escape reality and be able to, no matter what, you get to go back to your childhood for a little bit. You get to escape all the news and all the, worry about the bills for a few hours, and they need a cotton candy or, it seems like everybody at Disneyland's got a corn cob or something in their hand. It's wild out there, a churro.
Mhm.
Love it.
Yeah, I agree. This week with all of the news, it was a stressful news cycle, and my first thought was like, maybe we should just zip down to Disneyland.
I wonder if there were a lot. I mean, to be honest, like, I mean, I didn't see, this is what I do for a living. There were like a lot of like, I didn't get, Wednesday morning, a lot of bookings, right? Because, it's like it doesn't happen that way. It was immediate. But I wonder if like there were a lot of people that just walked up and went like, I got to get in the park Wednesday morning. I don't know. Then
Yeah, I thought if I was like if I lived there, I'd be like, I'm gonna take a mental health day after all the stress of staying up late, and I'll just go to the park.
yeah, because I do more long-term bookings, not like, hey,
Yeah.
Mike, hook me up. I'm going down today. Because most of my people aren't like, they got to get on planes. So it's not so quick. Yeah, I was kind of actually wondering that though, that more. I was like, I wonder how many people just walking up like, I need in. I need to go to Epcot. Then Epcot, that was on, I think, Tuesday morning, election morning, though. I don't know if you saw that on the news. I couldn't get people in the gates at Epcot. I was like, oh, this is a bad sign.
Yes, that's not good. Come on, citizens.
So anyway, so when you guys were out there, the kids gave a good summary. What, you guys stayed at the Grand California? Is that
We did.
That's
Yes, we
Scott's
are
favorite
very
hotel.
lucky. Yeah. So actually, my good friend from when I was their age is now a cast member. So whenever we go to Disneyland, we can stay at the hotels on their friends and family discount. So that makes a big difference. And so yeah, we stayed at the Grand Californian. It was really nice. It was nice to have the entry. I'm kind of a sucker in my heart for the Disneyland hotel because of the nostalgia, and it reminds me of the Polly, like it does for you, and that's our favorite.
Yeah.
But it was still wonderful, of course. It was super fun. Yeah.
So that's my thing is, I also kind of, I mean, I'm really, really curious about staying at Pixar Place now too, though. Like it's got my kind of vibe, right? With that mid-century kind of look and the Joe Gardner thing. And I've still not seen that movie. I need to watch. We don't have Disney Plus right now. I was trying to cut back on the bills, and the last time Disney Plus like raised their prices, I was like, I don't watch it many movies, because we have ESPN Plus, because that's the only way we could see Paige's basketball games. But I think I'm going to rent it for a month, because I gotta see Coco before I go on that cruise in December. Coco restaurant. I want to know what's going on. I need to know the story.
Yes.
I saw a sneak peek of the menu though.
Ooh.
I mean, because I like Mexican food.
You like Mexican, yes.
So, oh man, I told my wife, I said, I need to somehow work the waiter to be like, I know Disney Cruise Line has rotational dining, but you just need to rotate me into the Coco restaurant every night.
That'd be awesome. Just rotate me right back around.
like, can I get like that Uno card that says like repeat, or whatever that Uno card was? Because this looks like my jam. But so I do want to check that one out. But I'm excited though, just to check out the other hotels. But Disneyland Hotel, you're exactly right. That's kind of my vibe. It's right there in the middle.
Yeah.
I always hope for a discount.
And like right now, it's crazy because Pixar Pier is so popular. Sometimes it's more expensive. So I think when we went to Grand, we picked it because it was cheaper than Disneyland Hotel at the time. So it's not like always obvious which one is best, I guess, in the moment. And Pixar Pier has a great entrance now too into DCA. So yeah, it looked great too.
Yep. It's you got to, especially with discounts, because discounts a lot of times it is available at one of the hotels and not at the others. So that means, like you said, like Disneyland could be cheaper than Pixar Place, because Pixar Place is the new hotness.
Yeah.
The only way you can get that one is at rack rate, where Disneyland might have excess inventory because everybody's trying to go to Pixar, get that on a discount cheaper. So it's a funny supply and demand kind of things. It's like I try to explain with cruise ships. I'm always trying to tell people about the cruise. Why is my price different today? I'm like, because more people booked it. There's less staterooms. It's supply and demand. Yeah, it's great. So we have a few more minutes though. Out of Disneyland though, when you guys were out there, any other highlights? The kids didn't. I mean, you guys got to do Oogie Boogie. Was that something that you would do again? It sounds like you had fun, but was it worth the price? Because not only the price, but I mean, it's kind of a hassle to get those tickets. It's like a sign up for Run Disney race.
Yeah, it is just like the Run Disney race. So I was very prepared and was able to do. I probably wouldn't do Oogie Boogie again for a while. I would pick a Christmas one just because we've done that one now. But the price isn't too bad if you're only going for a few days and you don't have an annual pass or magic key, because you're already looking at like $120 a day for a park ticket. So the hard ticket event is basically the same price. So we just reduced our park days, to go to that. So that wasn't too bad. And I liked it because it gave us a whole rest day before. So we like slept in and went to the pool and then didn't go until the party, just before the party started. So yeah, that was great. A highlight for us is with 3 kids, no one got sick, which is like, we haven't had a trip where yes, give me the
That's a
bell.
win. That's a win for real.
Yeah, the last number of trips, someone has gotten an ear infection or something bizarre, and we've needed the medical services. And so I was so excited. 5 days of no sickness on vacation was great. We loved that. And I think another highlight was my son trying to break the hotel record for number of times down the slide in one day. I think the record was 111, and he got to like 34. But we were still really proud of him.
Valiant effort. I mean, hey, you gotta keep
Right.
trying. I mean,
He really tried.
next time, just have to
Just keep going. Yeah, it was great. The slide there's really fun. So that was awesome.
That's the pool where I saw them doing yoga.
Oh yeah, I had signed up for stand-up paddleboard yoga. I know you.
That's the craziest.
I'm a West Coast person.
That's the craziest thing. I was sitting there in Storyteller. I was like, God, look out there. That's the craziest thing I ever saw is people doing yoga on like boogie boards.
Yeah, I think you can sign up for that no matter which hotel you're at. You can do the extra stuff. And I was like, yeah, I would love to get some exercise while I'm here, other than the million miles of walking you do. Yeah.
Yeah, I told Scott. Yeah, I was like, no. I was like, we need to sign up for that, man. And I was like, if only for the video of us trying to just get on the boogie board. Like, everybody else was, I swear it was like a commercial for California because everybody was like on their boogie boards and just doing it. I'm like, Scott, you realize how hard that is to get on those boards?
Yeah,
like it's concrete. Like they're on water. This is unbelievable. If you put people from Missouri out there, this would be like a dog park. Like nobody would be on those things. But I was like, we're in California, man. I don't know. These people know how to do these things, I guess. I was like movie stars or something. Anyway, so but you guys go to Disneyland a lot. So as we kind of wrap, for folks maybe that are heading out, because we got a lot of folks who are really kind of finding Disneyland for the first time in our audience. I love it. Because I just went for the first time in 22 and I just can't get enough. Like you've been out there so many times. Like what's a hidden gem that you have found, like a snack place or a restaurant? Maybe like I talked about my favorite kind of hidden gem attraction in Monsters Inc. there back at DCA. But what do you want to tell people about?
Oh man. Well, we love all of it. I think probably most people know this tip, but we're big Dole Whip people. And there's the main tiki bar section where you go to get a Dole Whip and there's always a really long line, but around the side, there's a sneaky small Dole Whip area and you can mobile order there or not wait in line and just grab one and bring it into the show from that side as well. So I love that. They just reopened the Treehouse. And so that's really fun again if you have kids. And I think also in DCA, there's the like running around outside area. I can't remember what it's called. It's where Villains Grove was. It's like a ropes course kind of, and the kids can play. Our kids loved that this trip. It's basically a glorified giant playground. And it's amazing how you're paying $500 a day to be here and the kid prefers the playground, but they do. And it was really fun.
But every park should have something like that because kids need a place to kind of blow off some steam for 15, 20 minutes. And the kid, parents can sit down, like I said, and have a snack.
Yeah, and it's like themed to a national park in California, sort of. So there's a cave where you can find your spirit animal and like touch the rock and animals appear. And there's like ropes you can swing on. It was really fun. And that was our first time doing it. That's another thing. We've been a lot, but I don't know, I tend to save some rides. Like I've still never been on Alice in Wonderland because I like having something I've never done to go do the next time.
Ever out there.
I know, you love it because it comes outside. I always see it and I'm like, someday it'll be my first time. And I still haven't done Casey Jr.'s circus train. So there's just a couple.
We had like 7 of us. So we had myself, Mallory, Pam, my wife, Scott, Elizabeth, and Emily. All 6 of us were in the monkey car. We were in like the cage car on Casey Jr. It was, man, we were jammed in there, but it's one of the greatest selfies we ever have. It's like our last night there.
Oh, that's so great. Yeah. There's so many fun rides tucked in there. And so like saving a couple, because our kids always want to do the ones they've already done that they know they love. And so I like each time we get to try something new, even if it's just like a small dark ride, but it's really fun to have them try something new.
You have discipline to not do Alice because it's right there in the middle of Fantasyland.
We just also never have time. Like, I don't understand how with like 4 days of park tickets, I feel like we don't have time. We're not like, rope drop to close people. Our kids, as you can see, are very hyper and they need breaks and they need like sensory time. So we tend to just never get as much done as we want. But I like that because I like the chill time, and I like, just having snacks and walking around with them and letting them look at stuff. The new Toontown was really fun. They played in the fountain, and yeah.
I was going to mention that because I was actually out there for the media event when they opened that, and they brought us out there for that, and like they nailed that when they redid that.
It's so
if
awesome.
You need kids to kind of run around out there, that place jams. And they have kind of that back corner where it's quiet if you need it, because my nephew is on the spectrum there, and like sometimes he needs a place to kind of calm down. Yeah. And they focused on having that back corner back there to just very quiet and calm. Mm-hmm. And in a theme park, that's hard to find, and they really did a good job with that. And you have Mickey and Minnie's back there, to kind of go in there. And actually, they have a lot of good little snacks back there, like little picnic baskets with little donuts. Yeah. I mean, donuts. I mean, come on now, it's a little place.
That park has such good snacks. I love Disneyland snacks.
I found a place that has like baked potatoes, like right outside of Toontown, right there by the old theater, by Small World. I was like, Scott, dude, that place has like loaded baked potatoes in a theme park.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great. And the other highlight from that trip, I think, was just Fantasmic. I heard the trip report this past Monday talking about it, but it's my favorite show. And my lovely cast member friend asked the other cast members if we could sneak under the little rope. And so we got to sit right at the front. And last time we saw it, 2 of my 3 children got scared. So it was really nice to be able to try again. Still, I think 2 of the 3 left partway through. They were like, too loud, can't handle it. But 1 kid liked it and stuck it out with me. And I was happy to share that with them.
That's good. Tell your kids when we went out for our very first trip, because Scott's like, we're watching Fantasmic, and I'm like, I love Fantasmic. Let's go. So we got there early, standing there almost by the rail, right in front of the Haunted Mansion, but up on the rail by the river, under a big tree. I remember, but like perfect viewing. And I'm locked in because I'm like a kid in a candy store, right? I mean, I'm at Disneyland for the first time in my life. I've been looking forward to this. Like, I mean, I'm like 48 years old, been waiting my entire life. And like, I'm just focused on Mickey and everything happening across over on the island and all that stuff. Focused. Like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm watching the state, everything happening. That dang pirate ship snuck up on me, and he knew it was coming because in hindsight, and that cannon went off, boom, and my soul left my body. I came probably 3 feet off the ground. Yeah. I mean, he was laughing so hard. It's a wonder I'm still alive, because I am not kidding. It probably stopped my heart for a good 10 seconds because that thing was so loud in that ship. And that thing is like, I'd read or something. I knew that there was a pirate ship in this version of it. Yeah. But I didn't realize it was that big because I was that close. Like you don't realize at Disneyland, you can get that close to the river. Like we were right there. I mean, that ship, because it was so dark, they didn't have a light on it till like it was,
I know, it comes out of nowhere. It appears out of nowhere. They do such a great job with the lighting and where they design your eyes to go, that when the ship appears, you're like, where did that ship come from?
100%, because it was like I was watching Mickey and like sword fighting or something over on the island, and I swear, like, boom, that cannon went off, and I mean, it was like 10 feet from me. I'm like, where did that thing come from? How did I miss that? It was like it was not there. Yeah. Oh man, and I still it haunts my dreams.
Awesome.
Great, but I love Disneyland so much. It was so fun. But this has been so fun talking Disney. I mean, this is what I always want this show to be about. I hope people are laughing along with us and just thinking about, oh man, I remember going to the Haunted Mansion and Fantasmic and all that. And your kids brought so much energy too. So thank them for coming on, because
I will.
This is about. I love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having us, Mike. It was really fun to relive our trip with you.
I love it. So again, when's your next trip? You got the races coming up. So what's on the schedule?
Yeah, I'm doing yoga and the 5K and the half marathon. And then I scheduled too much. So then we're going to Alani in February and then
Good.
the Alaskan cruise in May. So, and then my husband asked if we could maybe have a year without Disney, to which my kids and I were like, we do, we're not going to Disneyland. And he said, Alani and the cruise counts. And we were like, no, it doesn't. So
Yeah, you're still doing it right, though. You're doing it right. Our listeners are like, you are doing it well. So no, it's awesome. So we'll see you. I can't wait to see you out there in Disneyland, though. So it'll be a couple months. So until then, have a happy Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, I should clarify, and a great holiday season, Jenna. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, don't forget, our show is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure. And remember, every Disney trip comes with a story. I mean, 10 of them if you're with Jenna, it sounds like. You never know what's going to happen. Your shoes are going to get wet, and you're going to have to text your significant other to bring them. Maybe they'll get there, maybe they won't. Who knows? But we'll help you get to your favorite Disney destination, whether it's Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, even Adventures by Disney. No additional cost to you. Check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys make the show possible. We could not do this without you. You can support us just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show every week called Mike in the Midwest. We'd love to have your support coming over this week. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give me a follow on the social media. I'm at Be Our Guest Mike on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads. And join us in the clubhouse. That's where we just kind of hang out all the time, talk Disney, talk life, whatever. We talk sports. We exchange pictures of the parks and restaurants and menus and all kinds of stuff. Today we're talking about Uncrustables and these little graham cracker Uncrustables that are supposed to be coming out. They look awesome. So come on over, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. No cost, no ads, no fuss, no muss. Come on over. And we'll have the live call-in show this Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central. It's you, me, and Scotty G. Phone lines are open. You guys determine the conversation. Just give us a call. We talk Disney. Can't wait for that. So join us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, or Twitch. And we'll be there and hope you will be too. All right. Until then, we'll get back together on Wednesday with your listener questions. So for Jenna out in Washington, I'm Mike here in Missouri. You guys have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Boom. That was awesome.
Yay! Oh, I'm sorry. My kids are not the best at listening to me. So when I was like, one at a time, they're like, my turn. So if you need to edit anything, I'm so sorry.
I am not editing anything because that took me back to teaching sixth grade, except there's 27 of them. That was totally like, I was just like, I'm back in my element.
Yeah, and then my daughter ran back in. She's like, show my pins. I was like, oh, just leave.
For the most part, this is the video's just because Mike likes to have fun.
Yeah.
Mike's story.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. Yeah. Good. Okay, cool.
I appreciate it.
My kids are a handful.
They brought a lot of energy to the show, and I appreciate it. They added a lot to it. I'm leaving it all in. It's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you. They love it. They'll be excited to hear it. That'll be really fun.
Awesome. It's all going to be in there. Well, Jenna, I appreciate it, and I appreciate your friendship. I love talking to you.
Thanks, Mike. You too. Have a great night.
You too. I'll talk to you soon. You guys stay healthy and have a good Thanksgiving.
Yes, you too.
Right,
bye.
Bye-bye.